any iota of sense of shame to criticize President HH over debt restructuring, when it is him and his administration that left this nation into its present economic malaise and quagmire it is stuck in. How? In Zambia there is an adage to say, insoni ebuntu. Here in Monse we say, insoni bobuntu. So to expect that Zambians can forget where they have come from barely 2.5 years ago, I think it is demanding too much from Zambians. No wonder they even had guts that one of their bullet concerns was to allege that the citizens of this country are disillusioned, they are dismayed, they are fed up. Fed up of what? Let us compare what the citizens can be fed up of. Free education, reinstatement of meal allowances to students at public universities, men and women in uniform, their allowances not touched by government, NAPSA partial withdrawal, retirees paid their monies, Tazara workers paid their monies, their arrears paid, KCM back on track, Mopane back on track, peace reigning supreme in this country. Pangas have disappeared. That is what is happening in this country. Today, you don't see any group of thugs calling themselves cadres shooting videos intimidating innocent citizens. Today, you don't see any thugs calling themselves cadres going to storm public places such as we saw previously, storming a permanent secretary's office by cadres demanding that a particular lady should be fired from government because she was belonging to the opposition UPND. Those leaders who held that press briefing today should have a sense of shame. Because if they had a sense of shame, many of the things they raised, they would not have raised them. But we have to understand them because a number of them are pregnant with untold colossal bitterness that the person they called and thought would never be president is actually in situ. He's a president. That is their source of bitterness. They even went as a group to say, no, stop referring to Patriotic Front, because referring to Patriotic Front administration will not fix the problems of this country. We are not asking Patriotic Front to fix the problems of this country. We are referring to the decisions that Patriotic Front made while in office that have led us to where we are here. The cost of living which they are talking about, can they pinpoint one thing, one policy measure that this administration has put in place leading to where we are? None. They are talking about President HH traveling. And President Lungu is saying, HH was saying, I used to travel a lot. We never complained about the number of travels of President Edgar Chagwa Lungu as a matter of travel. We complained about the value that was not coming from his travels, whatever the number he traveled. And after leaving the economy in such a malaise, in such a mess, there is a lot of reconstruction of bridges, of relationships with various international economic players that need to be performed, and that is why President HH has had to perform those trips, and those trips are bringing value to this country. Every trip that the president makes is associated with transactions, it is associated with business opportunities opening here in this country. That is a difference. And when the president travels, he travels with a lean, very small group of government officials and ministers, those directly related to the purpose of the travel. They are the ministers who will join the president. Unlike what we've seen in the past, where a delegation sometimes of more than 100 people will leave ahead of the president, constituting grandchildren, nephews, relatives, party functionaries, such as Secretary General and whatever. Have you ever seen President HH travel anywhere on business program with the Secretary General of the UPND, with the party spokesperson of the UPND, or any other party functionary? Zero. The people today who are talking about the travels of President HH, ask them which people used to be at taxpayers' expense for their travels. They have to have a sense of shame. For them to have modicum of integrity to speak to the nation with the guts with which they sought to express themselves today. We have a country to govern, and we ask the opposition to give President HH space. We know that in that consortium, we have people who are thinking they are the only ones with a mandate to govern the country. And that's why they can't sleep every day. Even in the night, check, they are busy concocting and doctoring information on social media, trying to sway the mindset of the citizens. It's because they can't stomach it. They can't wait. 2026 appears to be too far for them. It is coming. And we do hope as government that, going by the performance of the New Dawn administration, ably led by President Hakainde Hichilema, the people of Zambia will favor this particular president another mandate of a term and tenure, so that he continues to reconstruct this economy, and the peace with which Zambia has been known with continues to endure. We cannot look back to unpredictable people. Is this a new way of rebranding? Trying to call innocent people to join them? Those should not be joined by well-meaning Zambians. I'm even shocked to have seen people like Honorable Karaba there in that so-called alliance. Because Honorable Karaba is the only minister I know and respect that he resigned as Minister of Foreign Affairs, accusing President Lungu and his administration of massive corruption. What has changed? What has changed? He has to tell us. The TIZ Corruption Perception Index, released yesterday, should be a damning indictment on the falsehood of Mr. Fred Mende.
What's up? My name is Ken Dumbo, the MC with the sauce. Don't forget to subscribe to JQ.